I've been running Surefire lights for a very long time, and I know there's a lot of other light companies that are out there, but from my experience, what I've seen over the years is that the reliability and the durability are it's really hard to compare. Meaning, when I run low light, no light courses, I see a lot of other brands fail, and the Surefire is the one that keeps on going. Now, don't get me wrong; it's not a gobstopper. Eventually, it's going to break. But what I see is robustness within the Surefire lights. You can put them next to muzzle brakes, and they're not going to have issue. You can drop hard on the ground, and if your light bangs, it's not going to have an issue. If you run it next to a suppressor, that heat transfer on some lights, I've actually seen where the light will dim, and then of course, as soon as the gun, or meaning the can, cools down, then the light comes back on. Like, what kind of light is that? So for me, I've always been a huge Surefire fan, always because of the durability and reliability. Are they pricey? Yeah. Are they worth it? Yes. That's what you're really asking. Now, most of us carry standard handheld lights for pocket carry. And the one that I'm going to talk about next is the Stiletto. One of the interesting things about the Stiletto is that it doesn't have that same kind of sex appeal that we're used to, because we're used to just taking a round flashlight with a clip and throwing it in our pocket. And then generally over a period of time, we degrade that portion of our pants, which is why companies like Tactical Distributors and other brands as well have to reinforce the pockets over in that area. Well, with the Stiletto, one thing that's really nice is that it's flat. It carries really well. And when you sit down, you're not like digging one of the normal lights into your legs. This light, spec-wise, has a 650 lumen, a 250 lumen, and a 5. So it goes 5, 250, and then 650. And they also have a Pro, and the Pro goes from 1,000 to 300 to 25. Now, on this particular light, you get 1.75 hours on the highest setting, and then you get a 2 hour on 250, and then 30 hours on 5. It has a little charge port right here. And I'll be honest, I'm gonna kind of talk about this new host of lights that Surefire has, and I really like this chargeability, especially when you go through 1, 2, 3 batteries like I do, and you can't leave them in the vehicle for a long period of time, especially during cold weather, and next thing you know, you go to turn it on and they're dim again. So the rechargeability on this is really cool. You do have an SOS feature on this light, which is good. It's good to have. You can see it right there. So there's a couple different features on this that you have. You have an indicator light right here. That green indicator light just kind of lets you know, hey, are you charged? Are you not charged? But to be able to pocket carry this for a backup light in movie theaters, or for those of us that concealed carry, or anybody doing kind of more low profile stuff, I think that this is a really slick way to go, the Stiletto. And the Pro, depending upon what you're doing, has even more lumens, and I don't think anybody's ever complained about too many lumens. One of the last things with the Stiletto that I wanted to cover is, you might be thinking, well, if it's a backup light and you have to hit the button right here, that's 1, 2, 3, plus it stays on, depending upon how you're using it in a tactical environment, man, that's really hard to get quick on, quick off. Well, on the back right here is basically a tail switch that allows you immediately high output. So if you need to utilize the Harry technique, you can. If you need to utilize some of the other techniques that are out on the market, you can as well, and I'll demo those later. So you do have a button capability that allows you to immediately go on, and as soon as you take your thumb away, or in this case my finger, it goes on, and as soon as I take it away, it goes off, and it immediately translates right to the highest output. So it does give you a little bit of capability. We can still go FBI technique if we need to. We can still neck index if we need to, depending upon what you've been trained on. The one that's going to be somewhat what I would say is somewhat challenging is depending upon curling your fingers right here, we still could come in and almost Masada Ayub it right here. But that's going to leave the fact that I've got to work up in this button right here. We can also, depending upon how you work the clip, you can come in straight in the back like this and almost Roger Surefire syringe it off the back right here and still maintain a good grip on the light. So there are some options, even though this is an unorthodox light, but those options are yours and yours to practice and figure out how this is going to be best suited for you.